Anxiety. Anxiety is a highly known mental illness. It affects people from all around the world. Symptoms can change from a fast heartbeat, to shakiness, to dizziness, to that sicky feeling in your stomach before you walk into your interview, to panicking and extreme worry. It can affect anyone at any point. Studies show out of 40 million people, around 7 million people suffer from social anxiety and a whopping 14.8 million suffering from a depressive disorder. In research, I found that almost 1 in 5 teenagers that suffer or have suffered from anxiety due to the social media and the cultural changes to our generation.
Hi, my name is Alicia Bainham and I'm 16 years old and I'm currently suffering with anxiety. I have suffered anxiety since primary school. I first noticed it when I'd get shouted at by teachers, or when I was in big crowds, and I'd feel sick and I wanted to go home, and I thought I'd grow out of it, but it just got worse into high school. Homework, coursework, there's a lot more pressure on now with just everyday life in school. It's really hard. Having anxiety feels like you're isolated and suffocated in your own emotions, and a lot of the time you feel like you're alone with it, even though you do get support of family and friends, but in your brain you feel like you're alone. I personally feel quite alone with it. I do get support of my family and friends, but in my brain it's completely different. I never feel like I'll grow out of this condition. It's sometimes like I'm drowning in my own emotions quite a lot of the time, because my brain's telling me one thing but then my anxieties tell me another thing. I definitely feel like anxiety can be linked to other issues, like depression is one of the main links, as anxiety really makes you feel that uncomfortable with yourself that you could maybe begin to feel depressed or unmotivated, you don't want to live. Simple things like getting out of bed or going to school or work, it's both really, and it's nothing to be ignored. It makes me unmotivated to do things that I want to do and really affects my life in a big way. I would class anxiety as both a mental and physical illness, as mentally it drains you, and it is a mental illness which can cause physical problems such as the shaking and the nausea and just unmotivation in your body. It's almost like the mentality of it is stopping your body from doing things. Personally, I feel as though this generation has created quite a negative outlook on anxiety. If someone was physically injured, with a broken arm, everyone would run over and sign the cast and ask them if they're okay. But with a mental illness, it's almost invisible. If you ask for help, you'd be looked down upon in a way, or ignored in the way that you wouldn't be ignored if you had a physical illness. And it's just very frustrating when you feel as though everyone's blind to what you are actually suffering, because it is very real.
If you are suffering from anxiety, just remember that you're not alone. There are people out there who will listen to you, whether that's a GP or a counsellor or even online if you don't feel comfortable to talk about it in person with somebody. There are people who will listen and people who will help you, and just remember that you are not alone.